While most of America braces for a monster winter storm, we welcome you to the Valley of the Sun. Arizona State has cooled off and could use some heat right now. They started 9-2 and have slowed down greatly. West Virginia comes into this one of the most pleasant surprises in the Big 12. A dangerous team looking to turn the corner. Welcome to Tempe, everybody. I'm Pete Souza. This is Matt Muehlbach, and we are so excited to have you with us tonight for some Big 12 hoops. Matt, you know that Arizona State has to have this game. Losers of 6 of 7, but on the other hand, West Virginia, they're playing way better than anybody expected. Should be a good one tonight.
It really should. I think this is going down to the wire. Two very evenly paced teams, two even teams. They pace is a little different on both sides. We'll get into that, but two teams a little bit desperate.
Yeah, and West Virginia, they're playing very well because of Trayson Eaglestaff, a guy who they got in the offseason who has now rounded into form, prolific scorer at North Dakota, starting to deliver at West Virginia.
Yeah, how many guys in this arena have 51 points in their career in a game? Well, guess what? This dude does. And what I love about him, Pete, he's a shot maker, not just a shooter. And you can see some of the shots he has. He can get it out on the side and just throw up a jump shot like that, right? But he is a shot maker. He has size, and the size is what enables him to get those shots off.
Coach Hodge was telling us that's some of his best work, right? The improv. We talk about sticking to the script. Mo Odom is your guy. And the good news for Arizona State, when your best player is your hardest worker, maybe that means you are ready to make a change.
Well, this is the hardest worker. That was you out front, Pete, taking that picture. Odom came in earlier, and that was intentional. Why? He talked to Bobby Hurley after the Houston game and said, look, we got to get back to who we are. The edge that we had in November and December, that's got to come out. It came out a little bit in that Arizona game last week. Let's see if it can come out here today when they have 2 home games in a row.
Yeah, and Coach Hurley mentioned to us, you know, we said, how do you recapture that edge that Mo Odom and the guys had against Arizona? He said, we got to be more active on defense. We got to be grabbing 50-50 balls. There's an effort there that if we display, we will be the team that we wanted to be, the team that started the season 9-2 with wins over Texas, Oklahoma, Santa Clara, and most recently over Kansas State in conference.
Yeah, you look at some of their wins have been great. They really have not had a bad loss to ASU. Maybe the one, Oregon State, was not a good loss at home. You look at the same thing for West Virginia. They've been very solid, kind of holding serve at home. They've had a couple good, they just had the big Kansas win, so they have that on the resume. I think these are very even teams. I mentioned it a little bit in the open. Pace will be an issue. Arizona State wants to really run. They want to push pace. West Virginia, terrific defensive team. They want to slow it down.
West Virginia, as we look at Bobby Hurley, has not played a game in Phoenix, or in Arizona, excuse me, since 2008 when they played in the Sweet 16 against Xavier in Phoenix. Bobby Hurley, very familiar with Arizona. His 11th season with the Sun Devils, 3 NCAA tournaments. We are underway here in Tempe. Mo Odom, the heartbeat of this team, drifts right, eyes always up. From the corner, 3 try, rims out for 4. Honor Huff with the basketball. He is the little engine that makes this Mountaineers team go.
Huff at 5'10". How about the matchup, Odom and Huff? We will be watching that.
Keep your eye on this guy. Obioha up and in, the big fella, 7 feet, 265, using his body to create space and his touch to get 2.
Yeah, going against another 7-footer, 7'1". Jop, the freshman, has been terrific blocking shots, has been terrific on offense. How about these two going at each other early?
Right on cue, we see Jop take it hard to the hole, and he gets another opportunity off for great feed from Truitt.
It was almost like he took the bucket personal on the other end and said, I'm coming after you. So we got a great center matchup, and we have a terrific point guard matchup. There they are out up top.
Honor Huff. Shot clock at 7. Strong take. Floyd, feathery touch with the left hand.
Yeah, that's just a one-on-one move, and West Virginia will have possessions where they will go down in the shot clock. They will need guys to make one-on-one moves like that. Terrific move to start.
It's a great point against Colorado. They scored more than any time in the season with less than 4 on the shot clock. Knocking down a 3 and answering. A big shot for Arizona State.
Mayusin can really shoot it. I think Mayusin is their best defender. You see him, he'll get out in passing lanes, 37% from 3. I think he can even shoot it better from that range.
And Bobby Hurley told us today, this is a guy that is looking to break out. 2 back-to-back 10-point games. He's starting to come into his own. Ford, who missed 5 of 7 games with the hip injury. No surprise, those were the games that Arizona State struggled in. Turns it over. And on the other end, dunk attempt is denied. Laurent picks himself up off the ground. Sun Devils have numbers. Truitt on the block. Jump hook is good.
One of the things about Arizona State interesting, they are the 12th tallest team in the nation. Bobby Hurley has historically here in his 11th year had great guards, but they always haven't been as tall as some of the other teams. They have a really nice size this year, going to that early, you can tell, in the first part of this game.
Honor Huff, the runner, can't get the roll. Mayusin skies for the board and has his eyes upward. Sun Devils feel like they're in rhythm. Job.
Well, you can see the touch with Jock there on what, kind of an 8-footer, maybe 10-footer. Not a lot of freshmen, 7'1" guys have that kind of touch. It is an elite touch.
Brennan Laurier. Jump hook, no good. Truitt brings down the rebound with one arm. Inside, Jock goes off his fingertips, out of bounds. Arizona State looks really good early.
Yeah, I think that was a great job we had on the open by our crew. Right, we had a Nick Pace, our producer, showing Odom out there early, and they look ready. And here's that jump shot by Job. Look at he catches it right there, really almost 15 feet. And how easy and effortless that is by the 7-footer.
West Virginia 0 for their last 4. They haven't scored in over 2 minutes.
And ASU has really struggled to get out early in games. They've been behind early in a number of these losses, and this is just a great sign for them.
Five on the shot clock. Honor Huff, one of the toughest shot makers in the country, too strong. Mo Odom from the Bronx drops it off for Jop. Ross Hodge said this guy could play for 10 years in the NBA. He's got that kind of ceiling, and so far, he's making him look right. But Ross Hodge doesn't want to be right about that, man.
He dang near hit the ceiling on that one. The 7'1" gets after it. Look at off the bounce, coming right at you. ASU up 7 early, starting strong.
Back here in Tempe, Arizona State fell down 24-2 in their last game, a loss at Houston. Bobby Hurley looking to shake things up. Changed a little bit of his pregame and his team's routine, trying to get them a little more lathered up before the game started. It has worked so far, Matt. You look at their start right now, 11-4.
Yeah, you look at that first 11 games, we talked about that. That's when they had that edge. The last 7, they just haven't had it, right? I don't know what it was, but somehow they had a little malaise. And to your point, they came out. They normally go back to the locker room after the national anthem. They stayed out and did some drills, like hard drills, not just, you know, me and you shooting around. Like they went out and did some stuff, and I think they wanted to build up a sweat. Eagle staff right out of the timeout.
He's getting lathered up, knocks down a 3, fresh off a 22-point performance against Colorado.
Yeah, and what I love about Eagle staff, how fast does he shoot it, how quick off his hand. He never brings the ball below his chest, right in that slot, and it goes.
Mayusin between his legs, checked by Honor Huff. Jump pass, cross court to Ford, who climbs the ladder to bring it down. Shot clock at 5, poked away by Eagle staff, knocked out of bounds. 4.5 seconds on the shot clock. It'll stay with the Sun Devils.
You know, one other thing I would point out, there's, go ahead, there's Hodge, and we were talking to him about his first year here. What a great conversation we had with him, Pete.
Yeah, totally just transparent, generous with his time, sat down and talked with us. And you know, as I don't want to call myself stupid, but you know, I can be a little dense sometimes, and a guy like that, I come away from a conversation feeling a whole lot brighter.
I'll tell you what, Mountaineer fans, they've had a few coaches the last few years, and I think they've got to be just stoked at this coach right here. He does so many things. In fact, we were talking to him about how many boxes you have to check as a head coach. And I said, I used to think it was like 15, 16. The last 5 years, add like 6 or 7. And those 6 or 7 may have been the most important now. And he checks them to me like so many of them, maybe all of them. Like, I love his defense. I love what he does. He talked about recruiting really good kids, winners, and that's what made it so easy to transition, right? 100% new team, every single player.
And they are all locked in playing D, and right there, Eagle staff didn't get it done. Awkward leap, and Odom, awkward shot is knocked away. Into the game is Mukeba keeping it alive, and a 3 for Mayusin.
There's the 50-50 balls. We're talking about ASU. They get one there, scattered court, get the open jumper. I think that Eagle staff dunk, I think he may have tried to dunk it a little quick because Jop was sitting there under the rim. Jop didn't really move, and so that may have affected the dunk.
Floater is finished by DJ Thomas just into the game, the freshman from Allen, Texas.
It averages about 7 a game, and that was a nice little jump shot, came in. Got the 2 shoes different. I noticed that right when he came out, but the nice touch by the freshman.
I think the pair comes like that, you know?
Is that what it is?
I think so,
yeah.
yeah.
That's okay.
Not like Punky Brewster stuff. Honor Huff, a little taller than Punky Brewster. That one spits out on him.
Yeah, we'll get into his three-point shooting. It's prolific in the college ranks, and what he's been able to do at that 5'10" size. He's a tremendous guy that creates space.
Arizona State has made 6 of their last 8, making 7 of their last 9.
You mentioned Odom right there, Mo Odom, out of the Bronx, and one of the things Bronx point guards can do is they can flat out pass. And you know, I think of some of the guys that have been around forever. Tiny Archibald, old school Rod Strickland from the Bronx.
Yeah.
I mean, that's he can flat out pass it.
3-try coming, Thomas off the mark. West Virginia now 2 for their last 11. Odom in rhythm. Solid defense being played by Amir Jenkins. On the block, Mukeba is fouled.
Now, you played a little football in your day, my man. Mukeba looks like a defensive end.
I'm curious as to why Kenny Dillingham isn't here right now talking to him about, look, dude, right? we need you in the fall.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you, and I don't want to get Bobby upset because he's a very good player for Bobby coming off the bench. And I mentioned the bench. You know, Bobby Hurley and that fast start they had with a really new team for him. And Bryce Ford got hurt. And I think Bryce Ford's injury is what affected their record. And there's Ford right now. But what he does is spread the court. He's another three-point shooter with Odom. He allows Odom to be more of a passer in my mind. And now he's back. And so I think that's huge for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, and looking at some of their numbers for Arizona State, they were 39% from 3 when they were 9-2. They go to play UCLA. They lose Ford with the hip injury. He misses 5 of the next 7 games. They drop actually in three-point shooting all the way to 236 in the country, shooting 32% without him. Since back the last 2 games, they have been way more efficient from the three-point line as we see another layup from Obioha, a much-needed basket.
Yeah, it was from what to 237?
It was from 22 to 237.
Just with him out.
Just with him out, yeah.
Yeah, just the domino effect of that and spacing and everything.
Mukeba loses the handle. A little miscommunication with Odom. 5-point advantage for the Sun Devils. We got students back here in Tempe for the first game since break, and you can feel the impact, you feel the vibe, and here's Masamba Jop, you're feeling his vibe too. Was basically a non-factor against Houston. Bobby Hurley said he's got to have a bounce-back game, and he has.
He has, and look at that, even those little layups like that, I admire his touch. Like I think of Jokic for the Nuggets, right? And then off the dribble to show the athleticism, but I think Jokic has the greatest touch maybe in mankind history from 5 feet in. And Chop has a little of that in his hands, like the way he holds the ball, the way he releases, and there's the evidence. Look at the field goal percentage.
Second in the Big 12. Averages 14.2 points per game. At home, he averages nearly 17. And we saw a block in that package we showed you. He's had 5 blocks against Kansas State last game at home, and then 7 against Colorado the home game before that.
So 12 in the 2 Big 12 games at home. So feeling it in the lane, and that, you know, for their defense, we just said their defense has struggled at times. That shot blocking changes things.
So Gribovic comes away with the steal. Odom and the Sun Devils on the attack again. He is surgical. Mukeba gives it back to him. Second 3 of the night from Odom. The kid from the Bronx having a blast.
Yeah, West Virginia does such a great job helping and recovering, almost in the same vein as like a Houston team. I think the one guy you got to be careful helping and recovering it all is Odom. I would stick with Odom and not really help off him.
Amir Jenkins surveys left side to Honor Huff. Obioha has had success in the paint on the Sun Devils, but traveled there.
Nice job by Gribovic to come over on that double in the post. He caught him right as he spun, and that created the turnover.
4th turnover of the night for West Virginia. Arizona State hasn't necessarily been tidy with the basketball either. They have 4 turnovers themselves. 8-point advantage for the Sun Devils at home. Knocking down a tray right into the ball game. Johnson.
Yeah, and he hasn't shot it well. Pitt Johnson, earlier in the year, around 40%. He's right at about 30 now. That'll go up. Maybe it was because I asked him before, do you want me to give a shout out to anybody? He said, yeah. Jamaica King, my mom, she's going to be watching, wanted to give her a shout out. Well, Mom, there you go. Came in the game, instant offense.
Well, we can thank her for that, and we can also thank her for the best nickname in college basketball, Pig.
That's right. That's right.
This young man from Alabama was a football kid, right? That's what you do in Alabama. But he would go outside at 3, 4 years old, get so messy and dirty playing football, he'd come back inside tracking dirt everywhere. She started to call him Pig. And it stuck.
And he liked it. And he's like, that's a great nickname. I'm going with it.
It's as tough as they come, and really is an energy burst for this team coming in off the bench like we just saw.
And I like him better off the bench because you have Ford in that starting lineup. When Pig Johnson comes off the bench, because of his energy, because of his kind of electric offense, gets to the line a lot, I think it's a great feel for this team.
Another scoring drought for the Mountaineers. This one's at 2:30. Mukeba on the other end is fouled. What do you need to see from Ross Hodges' team offensively to get more in rhythm?
Yeah, and I'd like to see them get some buckets for Huff. We haven't seen Huff really get in rhythm and get a shot up that we'd like to see him have. And he's not in the game right now, but Eagle staff, same thing. Maybe in some better positions. We saw him in that last game against Colorado where he was so terrific. And he was making shots at the end of the shot clock, taking guys off the dribble. You know, the consistency, I think, for Eagle staff is going to be the key into this Big 12 conference season.
Mukeba, 56% from the free throw line, knocks down his first. The NBA is on NBC and Peacock. Monday nights, it's Peacock NBA Monday, and Tuesdays in primetime. It is Coast to Coast Tuesday on NBC and Peacock. If that music doesn't get you going, you got a problem I can't solve.
I've been listening to that for a long time and loving it.
Even when the NBA was not on NBC anymore, I would just crank up the John Tesh. Let's just go. Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. Tesh back there in the control room again.
That's right. little do people know he's still working back in the control room, right? Playing those tunes.
West Virginia rotates well, but doesn't finish again.
Yeah, and they've had some looks, right? We saw the Eagle staff dunk that was not converted, open 3 there. I think if you're coach, you got to just say, hey, we've gotten our looks. Let's kind of settle down on defense. Those will start falling on the offensive side.
Gribovic flips it to There's a whistle as Mayusin had it. Marquise Pettigrew on the scene. So the foul's on West Virginia. On the floor. Foul was on Jasper Floyd. 7-0 run right now for West Virginia. Excuse me, for Arizona State. Gribovich, 3, no good. Rebound for Eaglestaff.
And what a box out there by DJ Thomas. I mean, he got after it on that box out. Trying to post up right here, take advantage of their size.
This is an Arizona State team that is rock bottom in the Big 12 in defense. And tonight, so far, they have come out and played inspired basketball, holding West Virginia to 11 points.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Bobby Hurley was a fantastic defender when he was in college and in the NBA, and got after. He's known for his assists and all of that, leading the team. He was a defensive player first. And normally his teams really do get after it. They've just had a tough time this year, even with size. And there's Eaglestaff showing the shot-making ability.
5 points for him now, and the confidence starts to build for this young man. And that's the most important part. Ross Hodge told us he's starting to play with confidence. But answering right back on the other end is Gribovich.
Yeah, speaking of confidence, Gribovich had a big game against Houston, led this ASU team against Houston. And if you play the best team in the country on defense and you kind of light it up, you're going to have confidence the next game.
13-point advantage for the Sun Devils. Offensive foul. And you see Ross Hodge right now talking to Chance Moore. He said, hey, that's not your shot. I don't like that.
Yeah, he knows his guys, coaches them up so well, keeps them accountable. He's talked about the accountability. He talked about how unselfish this team is. And when you have all new guys, you're trying to build culture in, what, a month or 2 or 3. It's almost impossible, and I've got to give him, Coach Hodge, just an unbelievable amount of credit. And as I've said, Mountaineer fans got to be excited about the next few years with him under the helm.
Learned under Larry Eustachy at Southern Miss. Of course, Grant McCaslin at North Texas. Knocked out of bounds. It'll go to Arizona State as we will step aside and take a break. Sun Devils up early, making 5 of their last 7 field goals with a 13-point lead. Back here in Tempe, and Bobby Hurley's road to Arizona State did not include skipping any steps. It started at Duke, and we see him out in the NBA, had a real tough time early in his career after an accident, persevered, came back with Memphis, and then we see the assistant coaching route, Rhode Island, Buffalo, and now here he is in Tempe, where he has been 11 years at the head of this program. 3 NCAA tournament berths, and we see right there in the history books is the second winningest Sun Devil coach.
Yeah, what a great feat for Bobby Hurley coming out to the desert. And you look at that, great graphics and great kind of road there to his success and coaching. Obviously, his brother, a terrific coach, his dad in the Hall of Fame, St. Anthony's in Jersey City. I mean, one of the great coaching families ever. And, you know, you can do it 2 ways, though, right? Bobby Hurley's was a little bit of the, I'll call it a little 5-star because he was Duke. He won a couple national titles. And then you look at someone on the other side, Ross Hodge, right? Small school, kind of worked his way up, had to grind a little bit. They're both great coaches, both great guys.
And we saw something big there. Eaglestaff knocking down a 3, trimming the lead to 10. But one of the key takeaways from that possession was another miss by Honor Huff. They still don't have any points out of him. Yeah,
he hasn't gotten any good looks either, right? Maybe he had the one where he had to shoot at the end of the shot clock. He's used to that, though.
Ford, shot clock winding down. Southpaw can't stroke it as it spits back out. Eaglestaff finds Huff.
Look where they're guarding Huff. One of the reasons he's not scoring, I mean, it's essentially, it's not a boxing one, but they're denying Huff really at half court.
Brendan Lorian.
And that's a smart move. If you've got a point guard almost at half court being guarded right there, nice take there by Mayusin. I'm going to call the goaltend. But if your point guard's almost at half court, and he's being guarded, you're playing 4-on-4. Offense 4-on-4 is a lot easier than offense 5-on-5. Go into the post. I think Lorien's a guy that has a ton of potential. He can really get points up in a hurry. We talked earlier before this game about him having 16 in that first half against KU. So he can really put numbers up when he gets the ball down low.
There is Honor Huff right there and some of his career numbers, which are eye-opening. Mayusin running the break after another block by Job. Truitt turns it over. Here comes Chance Moore. Working on Ford. Slicing and dicing to the lane. Job got over there, but a whistle is blown and a foul is called. Foul is on Ford. And that will send Moore to the free throw line. We've talked about some of the struggles for West Virginia early. This is a team that has been lights out at home. I mean, as an opponent, did you ever play at West Virginia?
I never played.
Yeah, thank your lucky stars.
Stank, I've heard it is maybe the toughest place in the country to play.
It is. I think Ken Palm or someone ranked the toughest places in the country to play. And West Virginia, that's it. Morgantown, one of the most passionate fan bases in the entire country. They've won 15 straight at home dating back to last year. What they're trying to do now, talking to Coach Hodge, is get in that rhythm on the road, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got to win in the Big 12 on the road if you're going to contend.
Yeah, and one of the problems on the road, right, and Coach Hodge talked about this, it's sort of the triple play. First of all, you go on the road and you're playing a really good team. So you got good players, right? Now, not only that, but you have the home crowd is against you. The third biggest thing in the Big 12, great coaches. So you're, and I threw a fourth one out to him. The fourth one is this. A lot of teams go on the road and they lose 2 games on the road, so they come home and they are desperate just to get a win because now we're at home. And so you really have 4 big things going against you any road game.
Truitt steps through 2, but can't get the ugly finish.
Couldn't get that last foot down, or it would have been a travel, so he had to put it up kind of quickly.
The basketball gods, I think, knocked that one away. And the basketball gods smiled upon Mr. Eaglestaff when he entered the earth. Nice touch.
Well, that was on the run, catch, shoot, up in the air, and it's really hard to do that as a shooter when you're going to your right. There's Odom going to his, getting to the right hand. But when you go to the right side as a right-handed player, to square in the air and have all that momentum and balance is a really difficult jumper, and Eaglestaff made it look easy.
3 of 3 is Eaglestaff, and this right here is poetry in motion.
I love, too, how he kind of flares the feet on the bottom. That creates a little bit of that balance I was talking about. He's got a lot of a Austin Reeves game in him, where it's not, again, I mentioned this on the open, not just a shooter, but a shot maker.
You mentioned that leg kick. It looks cool, too.
It doesn't?
Yeah. So, I mean, you get style points there. 7-point game. West Virginia has now made 3 of their last 3 field goals. Amir Jenkins slicing and dicing. Draws 2, kicks to Eaglestaff, knocks down another tray. This is a kid who had 51 last year playing in North Dakota in the Summit League Conference. You don't want him getting hot if you're Arizona State.
Yeah, just watch Bobby Hurley go back to the bench like, you got to be kidding me. We've got to be on him. He was listening to you like, we got the scouting report on this guy. Had 22 Saturday.
Odom. Shot was interfered with. On the floor is Johnson, and we're seeing West Virginia now. The blood pumping through the body, the heart beating strong. Another 3.
Woo! Heat check was coming.
His first miss from deep on the night. Odom inside for Job. Just bigger than everybody.
I tell you what, the skill right there to catch that high, keep the ball high, and finish with that beautiful touch with those hands that he has. Just gorgeous move. Now they're going Eaglestaff. This is what I like. They're setting him up for some more post-up stuff, and a beautiful dime by him.
Lorien cutting to the middle of the lane, finishing, showing off some nice touch. All Lorien does is win. Final 4 at Florida Atlantic, then goes to UNT, wins 27 games, and now here he is with his team 3-2 in the Big 12 in conference play.
He's kind of a connector, isn't he? Kind of a glue, I think, glue guy, but he's talented too. That move he made right there, the cut he made is an NBA cut, because you watch a guy go one-on-one If you just stand and don't move, you don't have the luxury of that one-on-one cut.
Now here's inside to Jop, just bigger than everybody else, climbing the ladder and laying it up. That's why he's so good from field goal range. Beautiful pass, beautiful finish. Thanks so much, Ahmed, and we see these upcoming games on Peacock. How about Michigan and Nebraska? That's Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. It'll be cold outside. It's going to be hot in that arena. Wow, 7-3. And then, of course, Iowa State and Oklahoma State on Saturday. This bonanza, NBA and college basketball on Peacock, is something that college basketball fans are loving this year. And, you know, Jeff Goodman, who I love and I follow because I'm a hardcore basketball guy, he talks about that studio show that Peacock has being the best in the country.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's not only good and entertaining to listen to. I try to listen to it before our games so I can get some good nuggets before we go live.
And Ahmed is so smooth. We hear him rehearsing and in breaks. We think we're live.
It's happened now to me 4 or 5 times where I think it's live. It's incredible.
Well, the bullets are flying on the floor. That was live as well. Jasper Floyd says hello, knocking down to 3. And guess what? We got a 1-point game. West Virginia has made 6 of their last 7.
Yeah, all of a sudden, offense now for West Virginia looking good. And that was just a missed assignment right there. There's no one guarding Floyd. He comes out of that timeout, knocks it in. And as you pointed out, I think a great job by the Mountaineers just kind of being patient that first 10 minutes. They weren't really playing well, right? ASU had come out strong, and they kind of just hung in there.
Jop threading the needle, or at least trying to, has it taken away. Jasper Floyd pumps it to the left side. Lorient likes his odds on Truitt, puts it in reverse. Eaglestaff with the basketball and 14 points. Lorient, last minute dish and then denial by Jop.
It was great offense and better defense.
3 from Odom.
That shot felt a little quick for Odom. He can get that any time in the possession. I don't mind the shot from 3, but it was contested. Here comes that block, and it just looked like Jop, in a way, came from out of nowhere. I didn't think he had leverage there, or his legs were really in position to block it, and that was a block out of his position, which is cool to see for him.
If you're playing Arizona State at home in conference, you don't want to test Jop.
Yeah.
5 blocks against Kansas State, 7 against Colorado, 2 tonight. Eaglestaff off the dribble, off the mark.
Odom did a pretty good job right there getting into Eaglestaff, kind of into his legs, and it didn't look like he had enough lift. That's why he missed it short.
West Virginia's defense holds opponents to 63.8 points per game. That's second in the Big 12 behind Houston. They now have Arizona State having not scored in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So that defense of the Mountaineers starting to clamp down.
It really is, and they do such a great job normally defending without fouling. Coach Hodges, it's a real big issue for him. I don't think they liked that call right there. It didn't look like a lot of contact on the McCabe drive.
And McCabe, a little hobbled right now. We get another look.
There's definitely a little up front, but I thought pretty good verticality there at the end.
Sunday on Peacock, it is a heavyweight Premier League collision as Arsenal continues their title charge in a showdown with Manchester United. That is streaming live Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Peacock. You ever been on the pitch before? You a soccer guy?
I have as a little kid. I mean, you know, grew up in California. If you're in Cali, you played soccer no matter what at some point. You?
I was a wrecking crew, indoor soccer. But
you were?
Yeah, then they switched me to football.
Defensive end right away? Is that what they said? You're D end. Like, looked at you, right?
Yeah, 100%. Not smart enough to play quarterback. Not good hands. Yeah, let's go.
Size and speed, baby.
So a foul will send Obioha to the free throw line. Second foul on Mukeba. Obioha has been steady tonight for West Virginia. 4 points, 2 of 4 from the floor. and has been a lighthouse underneath and just a valve for Ross Hodges' team to get the ball to, watching defenders collapse, and that's helped Eagle staff get off.
Yeah, no question, having a little bit of presence inside, especially because this is a fairly small team, and he's the one guy with that size at 7 feet.
He was a great football player coming up in Kansas, had a lot of Division I offers and stuck to basketball. From Hoxie, Kansas.
Hoxie, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Only about 30 kids in his graduating class. As Truitt taking him to school there. 2 points for Arizona State. Big bucket trying to stem the tide.
Arizona State has in their big lineup with their 3, 4, and 5 really big guys right now. Let's see if West Virginia can maybe take advantage of that on the outside, but looked like maybe a foul on the screen on Odom.
So that's the second foul on Obioha. A little 2-for-1 action here for Arizona State.
Yeah. Well.
No, my math's off.
Yeah, it was. It could have been. Right?
I'm surprised.
No, you were right. It was, but they slowed it down and just wanted that one shot. I know to some degree colleges don't practice it as much as the pros. I think, you know, Bobby playing in the pros, being a pro guy, and he's got Odom. That's something they can do for sure.
Truitt is at the free throw line right now. Front end of a 1-and-1 is good.
Pete, this feels like a close one coming down in the second half, doesn't it?
Oh, man, and I was just about to get real complimentary of our officiating crew. It's been a clean game, tightly wound.
Good point.
Yeah, a lot of fun so far for the fans.
Yeah, good point. Let them play.
So 2 free throws are good. And a quick timeout for West Virginia. 5-point advantage for Arizona State at home as we wind down the first half. How about Ross Hodges' trip to the head coaching job at West Virginia? I'm gonna brace for a lot of text right here, okay? We're talking about a lot of stops for Ross Hodge, as we're looking right now at Bobby Hurley, who was overseeing the Arizona State effort, and a 5-point advantage. There's Ross Hodge, and there's that text I promised, but he earned it all.
He did, yeah, a little different than Bobby Hurley's, but again, we talked to him about that. Everybody's got their own race, is what he said, and that's what he tells his players, and he just grinded through some of the smaller schools, but obviously some great experiences, great coaches that he dealt with.
5 seconds on the clock. Huff has to hurry, buries it. A goose egg for him so far in the first half, and the kid gets off the schneid with a huge shot for West Virginia.
How about the guts? No points. Where's your confidence? I'll tell you where my confidence is. I feel really good because I make a lot of threes. And that it was almost what helped him in a way was the busted play. He had to get it off. What an amazing job of creating space. There's the pass right there. Mayusin gets it. He looks up at the clock, and I don't think Mayusin thought he would even shoot it from that far. That's what enabled him to get it up so quickly.
75th all-time in the NCAA in history in made threes. That was his 361st of his career. That's the end of the first half. Our score, 37-35. What an entertaining first frame. Arizona State ahead. Let's send you back to our Stanford studios for the Venmo halftime report with Ahmed Fareed and Jordan Cornette right after this quick break. Back in Tempe, Arizona, where we have got a good one. A 2-point advantage for Arizona State at halftime over West Virginia in this conference affair that both teams absolutely have to get. At halftime, this was a little different. Now, Bobby Hurley mixed up his pregame routine and he wanted his team to get off to a fast start. They did. They were up by 13 with 8 minutes left. At halftime, doing the same thing. This is not normal, right? This is unique.
It's not, and we're out here in the wild, and we're seeing live coaching, new coaching occur, and I love it. I love the off-the-coach, kind of calling an audible, to use one of your football terms right there, and it worked in the first half. Look, ASU got off to a really nice start. You could see the edge come back with this team, and then I thought West Virginia did a nice job getting back in the game, being patient on both defense and offense, and then they got Eagle Staff going. He is a fun player to watch offensively.
How about the second half with Ross Hodge and Honor Huff? How much does that help West Virginia's effort, that huge three that Huff had going into the locker room?
Well, and they got back into this, down 2. I think it's huge that he only had 3 points, right? And they're only down 2. They got to be looking at themselves, and saying, hey, we're in great shape. Our leading scorer only had 3 points, barely got going. Eagle Staff's feeling it. So I think a really good message, from Coach Ross Hodge in that halftime.
Shooting 56% tonight is Arizona State, and against one of the best defensive teams in the conference. And when Bobby Hurley's team is able to shoot more than 50% in the Bobby Hurley era, they are 56-3. Tony Padilla right now having a little chat as we see Mo Odom, as we're a little slow to start the second half.
So something going on Gucci Row or something here in the front row.
Maybe somebody spilled a cocktail or something, right? We are back underway here at Desert Financial Arena. Pete Souza alongside Matt Muehlbach. So happy to have you with us as we get to bring this second half for you. Hardcore take.
Yeah, that was a set play that Ross Hodge called out of halftime. I like the play. It was one of those cross screens down low by the block. They were trying to get Obioha a good look there, and they did. And he gets to the line. Nice play.
A 7-footer at the free throw line. He is 1 of 2 so far tonight. Knocks down his first. Look out.
The curtain of distraction is, I was here, I was here, 11 days ago, and like you pointed out earlier, there were no students. Yeah. They did have the curtain of distraction, but I don't think at the level we're going to see it tonight.
Making the Iron Curtain look weak. Mo Odom, Mayusin from deep, spits out. Two-man game. Jop had the rebound, but Obiaha came over the top, and the foul will be on him. That's his 3rd foul, and he'll have to be careful. They need him tonight. He has been somewhat of a neutralizer on Jop down low. 2 7-footers have been duking it out.
Yeah, they don't have size really to combat that, so it is important, as you pointed out. Nice job. It was, this was one of those tough ones. It's a hustle play. It's a good call, but it's just kind of wrong spot at the wrong time.
Talking to West Virginia's radio voice, Tony Caridi, before the game. He's a legend, and he was talking to me a little bit about Obiaha and just how much of an energizer he is at 7 feet. That's dangerous.
Yeah, you don't hear that much from a 7-footer.
And you don't see plays like that too often. You got to be from the Bronx. Mo Odom twists his way to a handoff and Ford finishes.
Yeah, I mentioned some of those Bronx guys. I think was, I don't know, Kenny Smith might have been from the Bronx. Kimball Walker might have been a Bronx guy.
Cardiac Kemba.
That's,
I like, you mentioned Rod Strickland. He was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I agree. Just watching the way he played and how he was able to get where he wanted at any point, and that's what Odom did right there, is found a way. Look, you look at just the handles, that little spin, the little tuck under dime. You learn that in the Bronx, and I'll tell you what, my favorite player all time that I played against was Kenny Anderson. Talk about handles. The way he handled Kenny Anderson to me was one of my favorites.
How'd you try to guard him?
I actually was so happy because I was like in heaven guarding someone so good. And it just meant a lot to me to be able to guard him, because I remember the stories coming out when he was in 8th grade. The story that came out was he could get anybody 20 points just because he was so good giving dimes. He'd give me 20 points if he wanted. Whose night is it tonight? I'll figure it out, and I'll get my 25 as well.
Lethal Weapon 3, kids. I'm not talking about a movie either. Look it up, all right? It's worthwhile. Georgia Tech was something special back in the day.
That's right.
So Arizona State now still clinging to that three-point advantage. You see the turnovers, 9 for the Sun Devils, 5 for West Virginia. They had 4 with about 14 minutes left in the first half, so they have really cleaned things up.
Definitely. Look at that.
Honor Puff. You can't ever say he forces that one, folks, because that's how he shoots.
Yeah, he's a high-volume guy. You know, your teammates are going to know that. They're good with him because he's so good. You talk about good. Odom, it's funny how we talk about a ball dropping in and it gives guys confidence. That pass gave Odom confidence to make that play on offense. He's feeling good right now.
10 points, 7 assists in the flow state. Eagle staff. Sweet rebound and put back by DJ Thomas, the kid from Allen, Texas.
Great job by Thomas coming off the bench to do that. And just that, you know, you come off the bench and just to some degree you want to just be equal, right? But if you can get points and get positive plays like that on a hustle play and a rebound, and that's one area where Arizona State has struggled this year is defensive rebounding. And on the flip side, you know, West Virginia, not a very big team. They've been a great defensive rebounding team, kind of an average offensive rebounding team, but a big point there.
Odom sets the table. Ford, shot fake. Walks the tightrope. Finds Odom. He draws iron, and a nice rebound by Eaglestaff. That's a part of his game that has really come on, averaging 4.5 rebounds, up from 2 last year.
No double, just taking him one-on-one. He's got the floor clear. I think he wants it again.
Step back. Bang! You called it, he delivered.
Yeah, that little crossover, that created the space, that created that step back that's become so famous by so many players the last 15, 20 years, and did it to perfection.
First lead for West Virginia since 4-2 at the 18:25 mark of the first half. But Odom takes it right back with the teardrop.
Odom's feeling it early in the second half, and Eaglestaff's feeling it this entire game. I think they're going to call a play for him right here, knowing he has the hot hand.
5 of 7 from 3 is Eaglestaff as they look to free him. That's the active defense that Bobby Hurley told us his team had against Arizona that he wants to see again.
Well, that defense always isn't there when you have a guy like this that can create shots, do it at the end of shot clocks, and drain it. Eaglestaff on fire.
One by one. I know you peels it off. Just call ball, peel off, stay together. Again, Trey had a good block out, good contest out there. Even when he drives that baseline though and he's squeezing us, he's got to get a deflection, man. Where's the ball?
Ross Hodge, 45 years of age, the head coach at West Virginia. Even Steven, dude. And Matt, you and I were talking earlier. His wife, Shelly, is a yoga instructor. And I got to believe he's gotten some of that zen from her. I talked to him before the season, and he mentioned a quote of hers, which really lends itself to being a head coach in this environment in college basketball and just kind of dealing with all the runs and stuff. The most flexible trees survive the storms. And that's a flexible dude right there. In that huddle, what's that like as a player when your coach is that cool?
Yeah, I mean, it translates to you, right? You feel it and feel his energy and reflect that same energy. By the way, great backdrop with the quote from his, I mean, it's one thing to know his wife's name, but you've got quotes coming from Shelly? I mean, that is fantastic. I know they have 2 kids, Emery and Reed, back home. I know they're probably doing a little breath work right before bed tonight after this game.
I think one of them at least should be in bed by now, because they're on Central Time.
That's right. That's right. But no, I could, you could feel the just, the very calm delivery there. Asked for a little deflection, had to get that in. I think coaching these days has changed in the sense that there's a lot less talk about like energy or effort. It's more technical and more strategic.
Oh, a strategic pass there, a good one. Mukeba, but it couldn't be grabbed by Jop, and a turnover for Arizona State.
And a little full court pressure there by the Mountaineers right out of the timeout.
11th turnover of the night for Arizona State. And you mentioned it, Matt, they were sped up there. Here's Amir Jenkins. Laurent elevates with not much going on. We will get a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Arizona State.
Great job by Mukeba, just individual defense on that play.
Shout out to those West Virginia uniforms. Those are the Jerry West throwbacks that are just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, those are nice.
Second time this year they have worn them, according to sports information guru Brian Messer. Odom twists and turns, somehow gets it up and draws a foul.
It looks like Jenkins may have gotten the hand in there on that one. I like what they did. They brought Jenkins in, a little taller player to guard Odom.
$12 points for Odom. 0 for 1 from the charity stripe so far. Has 7 assists. Next month, experience the majesty of the Winter Olympics from Northern Italy. The opening ceremony is Friday, February 6th on NBC and Peacock. I cannot wait. I love the Winter Olympics. I love the fact that it's in Italy. I love the fact, of course, that it's on NBC and Peacock, and that music, right?
Yeah, it gets you.
Oh.
Our family will be locked, as my daughter says.
Really?
We will be locked on everything.
What's your favorite event?
Oh, Winter Olympics. I mean, I love the hockey. I mean, I love every ski event possible. Those are thrilling.
Let's take another look at this foul here. Mukeba, like a linebacker, finds his way to the basketball, gets shoved in the back. Fouls on Eaglestaff, his second. Locked at 44.
What's yours? Favorite event?
I like the downhill skiing.
Yeah.
You know, I just find that so fascinating, and there's just so much skill.
And power, the strength.
So Laurent hit with that foul, his second.
When we were talking about how fast that first half went, barely any calls. It's gotten a little bit slow here the last minute or so.
And a pace that favors West Virginia.
That's a good point, really good point. They want it to be slow. Mukeba misses everything, but Bobby Hurley, on the other hand, there's Coach Hodge wants it to be slow. Coach Hurley wants to see fast tempo.
You saw Hodge there screaming, block out. And they do. Chance Moore grabs the board, drops it off for Honor Huff, who has been kept in check tonight. Just 3 points.
I believe he's only had, 2, maybe 3 games all year in single figures. So he's bound to have some moments where he's going to heat up.
Mukeba denies there at the rim. And we've got a whistle. And I think the eagle eye of Marquise Pettigrew noticed that the shot clock did not reset.
Yeah, Huff has only had 3 games the entire season where he's been in single figures, 8 and 6 in those 3. So this is definitely not normal.
Nice fake by Eaglestaff. Tees up the tray. Too strong. They fight for it. Mukeba comes away with it and whips it to Pig Johnson. He puts it in overdrive to the hole. Whistle's finally blown. His bodies are on the floor. And we'll sort this one out. Pig Johnson with his hair on fire right down the floor. If you've watched Arizona State, you are no stranger to those pictures.
Well, and he's been so adept, one of the best in the country at drawing fouls, and it has been interesting. He does not get the call there, but teams have been really playing for that, right? They've watched tape, and so it's been more difficult for him to get to the line than it was earlier in the year.
So the foul was on Thomas, his first, as we restore order. Comfortable in chaos is Odom off the side of the rim, and a foul, maybe a reach on Johnson.
And nice job, Chance Moore, with the box out on that one. They've had some really nice box out tonight.
So here we go. No field goals in the last 2:31 for Pig Johnson and the Sun Devils. Conversely, for West Virginia, they haven't scored in 2 minutes. Fouls on Mukeba, his third. Jasper Floyd from Tampa, Florida, his 5th stop at West Virginia, controls on the left wing. He is nails defensively and offensively. We've seen him already light it up. Chance Moore shimmies and is fouled by Gribovich.
I'll tell you what, Chance Moore off the bench has some game. It's not a normal guy coming off the bench, and you just look right here how quick this one-on-one move is to draw that foul. And you have a guy like that coming off the bench. Gribovich doesn't like it, but that was a good call.
And he tries for the bank after Mukeba puts up the air ball. I feel like we're at the LA Fitness right now.
Yeah, things have gotten a little clunky here in the last, what, 3-4 minutes.
I mean, maybe this is why at least he's got an excuse. Moore does. Oh my gosh.
Oh, geez.
Art the Clown. My stepdaughter, soon-to-be stepdaughter, Lex loves Art the Clown.
Oh, really? That's I would not have been able to call that.
See that? Pig Johnson off the mark, and the rebound is pulled down by Moore.
I was gonna say I was here the night Michael Phelps was in the thing, and he was the Chippendale.
Swimmingly, it's taken away right there by Meusa, but he can't finish. Odom grabs it right back. We scramble. Pig Johnson can't finish, but the tap by Meusa, who is trailing, is good.
Well, you see the coaching staff for Arizona State just really light up there, like, let's go. It's just felt like we're kind of in mud for the last couple minutes. Maybe that will get them going. Certainly the fans now standing.
They call the Big 12, it's a different league, and it really is, because the skill and the athleticism is elite, and the competition, we see the effort playing out in front of us, is also first class.
It is. It's an amazing conference. We were talking about to Coach Hodge about that. Coach Hurley was basically saying the last 2 games, in elite games, he's essentially had Final Four type games, but on the road, not even at a neutral.
Well, 3 of their last 4 games, part of this 6 out of 7 game losing situation, 3 of their last 4 games have been against top 10 opponents.
Yeah,
I guess the Pistons weren't available. Straightaway 3 is buried by Brennan Lorient.
Lorient shoots 37% from deep. He can shoot it. You've got to get out on him. I really like him as kind of a third option for this Mountaineer team. He does a lot of good things for them.
Breaks a 2-minute and 40-second scoring drought. Odom, peanuts. Chance Moore, strong take, hoop and harm. And West Virginia surging ahead.
And I thought there, the Eagle staff pass to start this fast. There it was. That started the break. That pass ahead is so important, and to finish through contact, we've got a 4-point lead. The Mountain Air is starting to feel it.
The hunting party is back for another killer season. Wow, scary images and an awesome show we're telling you about. The hunt is on for the most notorious criminals in the world. The hunting party. That's tomorrow on NBC and Peacock. And it's gotten scary for Arizona State over the course of this last, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. They are 1 of 8 from the floor. And although those guys behind that curtain do a terrific job of obstructing the view and shaking up the opposing free throw shooters, right now it's Arizona State who needs to get back on track.
Yeah, the defense from West Virginia is kind of heated up. And you made, I thought, a really good point. The game got a little slow. There were some foul calls. It got a little clunky, and that seemed to disadvantage the Sun Devils.
As Chance Moore finds his rhythm, 6 points tonight for Moore, has 8 collectively in the 3 games coming into this one.
And I like what they're doing right here, which is just movement. Just get guys moving, get it side to side, set some of those ball screens.
10 on the shot clock. Sun Devils need a bucket. This is the guy. Odom, deep 3, off the mark. Lorient, nice job boxing out. Jasper Floyd, right down the heart of the Arizona State defense.
Yeah, just not getting back right there and picking up your man. Mistake there by ASU. And you feel like Odom's got to make something happen for this team, especially with Jop not in the game.
Ford, quick release off the mark, rebound by Huff. The whistle is blown, and let's take a look at that layup by West Virginia in transition.
You know, this is the second time they've done a great job passing the ball ahead. It's such a kind of unknown thing that when you get it ahead like that, you create advantages. That was more of a 3-on-2, but they do a nice job of that, and being unselfish seems like a real theme for this team, and you can really see it.
Fouls on Lorient, his 3rd. He'll head to the bench. Arizona State trying to break an 8-0 run by West Virginia that has the Mountaineers up by 7, their largest lead.
Now Jop back in. Maybe they go to Jop right here. Give him some touches.
Shot clock at 5. Johnson activates. Bully ball with Moore. Gets the contact, doesn't get a call or the roll, and here comes West Virginia. Eagle staff likes his odds on Ford, draws a double team and finds Moore, who travels with him. Arizona State with the basketball now, Matt. Haven't scored in 2 minutes and 44 seconds.
Yeah, I think here the shot clock was running down that last possession. I think a Jop touch would be big for them. Get them in the lane, somewhere around the lane with him with the ball. And we're going to his side right here.
Johnson out of the corner, finds Jop, who rams it home.
Well, that was all started by Jop getting the advantage. He made a very unselfish pass to the corner, and then the entire time they kept using that advantage, finalized it with the dunk.
Eagle staff to Huff in the corner over the rainbow. Tough night for one of the best shooters in the country. 1 of 7 for Huff, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc.
I'll go back to Jop here. Work through Jop on this offensive possession if they can.
Johnson finishes and is fouled. Was that a horse shot?
Well, he hasn't been able to draw the foul. We've seen now, what, 3 or 4 possessions. He has not gotten the call. In that possession before, here was the Jop dunk, and it was Big Johnson with the beautiful baseline drive and pass that created that on that possession. Give him the assist there, and then give it up for Pig Johnson by himself on that next possession. here's the one on the foul. Like I said, you know, Pete, how many have we seen? That's a Larry Bird behind the backboard shot.
Over a 7-footer. Johnson sinks the free throw, awfully comfortable at the free throw line. Has attempted the third most free throws in the Big 12. Now it's West Virginia who has gone dry. No points for them in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Floyd pumps it to the right side. Shot clock at 5. Floyd has it again. Long three, perfect! Wow!
Wow, I looked over at Bobby Hurley when he made that, and as a coach, you don't know what to do because it's terrific defense and just, you know, to some degree, a somewhat lucky shot, but a beautiful shot at that.
Mayusin launches it right side. Here's Ford off the dribble. He's been cold, and it continues.
Seen a couple balls go in and out on these rims.
Ford 1 of 6 from the floor.
And now here's where West Virginia feels like they're in a good spot. They can control the pace, control tempo, run their offense. Probably run it inside 10 seconds. They've already done that.
Eagle staff looking for some shelter. Left side. Offensive rebound for the Mountaineers, and Floyd backdoor up and under. The fake got everybody in the gym to jump, and he converts.
Yeah, great cut by him, but it was the Eagle staff unselfishness, had a wide open 3, elected to get it to his teammate for an easier 2. West Virginia rolling.
Jasper Floyd is nails. Has played in 92 college games, has started 90 of them. Big 12 basketball is brought to you by Venmo. Score more with the Venmo debit card. Jasper Floyd has been scoring more. He's had the last 7 points for West Virginia. On the night, he's got 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Floyd coming into this matchup had collectively pieced together 8 points in the 3 previous games. And tonight, when West Virginia has needed someone to step up, it's been him.
Yeah, he's done such a great job. And a guy that only averages 7, could average more, I think, if he wanted to. But second on this team, actually, he might be leading this team in assists, which is crazy to me as the 2-3 guy.
And that's Jop, the lifeline right now for Arizona State, as he has 14 points on 7 of 9 shooting.
Nice job by Bobby Hurley to go to Jop right out of the timeout, get a quick hitter, nice offense.
3-try, Eagle staff, clean living.
His release is as quick and fast and deadly as anyone in the country.
And that quick trigger has led to 6 of 9 from beyond the arc for Eagle staff. Give him 20 points. Give Floyd another rebound.
And a missed shot by Jop, but I like it. Get it to him. He make that shot at the free throw line.
Oh, look at Floyd. Puts it in reverse, then in drive. The ball moves to the right side. Thomas, offensive foul.
Yeah, got the elbow up. Easy call right there.
8-point advantage for West Virginia. The Mountaineers have made 6 of their last 8. Eagle staff, an assassin tonight once again from 10. Big 12 basketball is brought to you by Venmo. Score more with the Venmo debit card. Trayson Eaglestaff, the transfer from North Dakota. Took him a minute to really adjust and round into form in the Big 12, but bro, he is slick right now.
He is, and the word efficiency comes to mind. Look how quick that trigger goes right there. He gets it in the pocket, boom, it's off. And the size, as we've talked about, allows him to shoot over most players, and I've been really wanting to see him make one off the backboard, because he made a great point after the Colorado game last week of crediting his grandfather for saying you got to shoot it off that top square. He's like, if you hit the corner square, his grandpa said, that's what Larry Bird did.
Yes.
You will always make it. And he had a couple nice bank shots against Colorado on Saturday. Just seems like a great kid and a great family.
That is an awesome story, and I know his mom and his grandparents are in attendance today. And he's making them happy with 20 points. Let's see if Ford can stroke it. Tough night for him continues. That's a guy that's been plagued by a hip injury throughout the better part of the season and still trying to kind of find his rhythm and get comfortable and get healthy 100%.
And you can see when he shoots it, he's a guy that shoots it, it looks like it's going to go in. And you wonder if that time off has led to some of the misses.
Eagle staff, a rare mistake as the ball slips through his hands and hits the sideline, so a turnover gives another opportunity to Arizona State. And there you go, there's the 20-point games this season. Honor Huff leads the team with 7, but Eagle staff with 4. And it's pretty cool if you're Ross Hodge to see Eagle staff pick it up on a night where Huff only has 6 points.
Yeah, and add to that on the road, right? Not at home where it's probably more comfortable.
And by the way, check that. Huff has 3 points.
Yeah, and right at the end of the half, right? Still the only make.
And West Virginia playing well on the road is not something that has. So it's not something Mountaineer fans are used to this year. I mean, they're 0 of 2 in true road games and 0 of 4 in neutral games.
And I've been waiting for Huff to go off so we can talk about the Brooklyn point guards. We talked about the Bronx point guards earlier.
Upcoming games on Peacock. Man.
That's a lineup.
Whew, Nebraska, Michigan, Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. You don't want to look past Iowa State, Oklahoma State, and the rest of these games because they are big-time matchups. But that one right there, circle it.
Yeah, those are some awesome games there. And this is the time of year, just love watching it. We're getting closer to February. That's when I kind of start thinking about the tournament. I don't really say much about the NCAA tournament till February, but you can feel like these are like all real games that really count, right? That they're going to be big in the next few weeks, and when you start looking at records and resumes.
Eagle staff, his resume looking pretty good tonight. Just got a little better.
Shot maker, man. He's not just a shooter, and you see it there off the bounce. You mentioned the pump fake on a few plays earlier. He does a nice job here. Watch that little hezzy there. That was the pump fake that got McCabe up in the air. And you know, look, when you play off 2 feet, that allows you to make plays like that because you're under control, you're on balance, you can make the pass, you can shoot it, or you can pump fake it like you did there.
23 points now for Eagle staff. On the other end, Pig Johnson shot out of a cannon for 2.
He scored with like less than 1.5 seconds after that free throw. And Coach Hodge did not like that on the other side. He was not happy.
There's a turbo button there somewhere at play.
Yes.
Floyd, who is having himself a night, squaring off with Johnson. You got to love this matchup. 2 tough guys that can play. Shot clock coming up on 5. Floyd out of real estate, out of time, turns it over.
You know what's interesting about Coach Hodge, and Coach Hurley does this a lot too. But here, look at how fast this happens after a made free throw. This is insane. Boom, 1 catch, 1 dribble, and then a crazy reverse with the right on the left side.
Do not blink.
Yeah, but I was saying both coaches, and Coach Hodge does a lot of this. They find matchups they like, and that's an NBA thing, of course. You don't see it as much in college. You see it more these days, but he does a good job really trying to find matchups and exploit them.
Eight-point advantage for the Mountaineers. And there are the 2 coaches as we come down the stretch. We'll be trying to match wits. And right now, West Virginia with the advantage that has grown to 10 points. Just great offensive efficiency.
And there's Lorient again. He's a guy that is a clutch player, can make buckets in a lot of different ways.
Odom inside half court, trying to spin to freedom. Floyd is right there, but a little too physical. It's Tony Padilla blows the whistle and calls the foul. 10-point advantage for the Mountaineers. They've made their last 4 shots. Arizona State has really struggled shooting the basketball in the second half. In the first half, they shot 56%, including 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. In the second half, much different story, 34%, 0 of 5 from deep, and Bobby Hurley's team now is on the ropes, Matt. And what do they do to get back in this one as we come down the stretch with 3 minutes and 37 seconds left?
Well, I think they need to make these free throws by Odom to start, and that would get them in a defense where maybe they could pick up three-quarter court, start to try to create something defensively from a steal standpoint. See Pick Johnson there, he's one of the guys that can do that. Can they create something full court? One of the problems is West Virginia has such good ball handlers when you think about their point guard Honor Huff. Jasper Floyd is fantastic at the 2 handling the ball, and then Eagle Staff is an awesome 3 at it.
Odom, not like him. Tonight, he has had a rough night shooting the basketball from the free throw line. This is an 86% free throw shooter who is 2 of 6 from the charity stripe tonight.
Yeah, see, they're going to pick up now, and I think that's a great move by Bobby Hurley. They've got to kind of speed the game up a little bit.
Eagle Staff in the corner off the feed from Huff. He turns to Marcus Pettigrew and gets a timeout. We'll step aside. 9-point advantage for the Mountaineers. Back here in Tempe, Bobby Hurley and Ross Hod coaching their teams up as we come down the stretch to close this one out. A tough second half shooting wise for Arizona State. And West Virginia's opened it up a little bit.
One thing ASU's been pretty good over the years with Bobby Hurley is that three-quarter court pressure. They've been pretty good at it. He does a nice job. They wanted a 10-second call.
I think they should have gotten it. The shot clock said 20.
Yeah, I agree.
And they still had the basketball in the backcourt. Shot clock now at 5. Huff. In and out. Wow, Lorient skies for the board. That is a killer.
And how about him skying and coming up with it both hands? Super athletic move.
How about the demeanor of Honor Huff, though? 3 points, and he carries himself like he scored 30.
That's a great point. Body language has been terrific all game. Letting other guys get theirs hasn't been his night, but here he is late making plays, trying to get to the line. Just super positive guy.
Just a huge smile, energizes the rest of the team, and as you well know, right, when your best player is your hardest worker and also best guy, that sets a tone for the entire team.
Yeah, I think it's such a great point. Easy to get down on yourself, right? Start thinking about yourself, and not at all.
There's the tough shooting night for Huff. But he knocks down 2 free throws, extending the West Virginia lead.
83% free throw shooter, not the guy you want to foul if you're able to shoot.
Odom gets a screen from Job. Loves that pick and roll, but loses the basketball there. 14th turnover of the night for Arizona State. West Virginia has not won a road game all season long.
Well, in some teams you'd say, you wonder, do you really want to slow it down? You're getting out of rhythm. This is what they do. They play a lot of late shot clocks, so it should be very comfortable for them.
That is a great point. As Lorient makes it look easy under duress. Clutch.
That was the old, you know, skills high school camp where you get the pivot foot and keep turning. He found the space he needed.
Mayusin frees up and drops one home. 2 more points for Arizona State as the Sun Devils continue to fight.
And they're going to watch this. They will get this shot clock down to 10, 9 or 10 before they even really start doing anything.
Inside of 10 on the shot clock. Huff. Trying to draw the foul, no call. Here comes Odom, finds Mayusin. Into 2 defenders. Can't get it to fall. A gutsy take.
Yeah, he wanted that 3. Here's in here with the pivot foot. Got that left down, turn, turn again. Why not?
Well, that's a guy that's comfortable in a big situation. I mean, he was a role player on the FAU team that made the Final Four a few years ago, and when the bullets start flying, that's a great guy to have on your roster.
And not only to stay calm with the pivot foot, because you start sometimes to think, oh, they're going to call me for something, travel, but with the shot clock running down too. So we had 2 things kind of going at one time, able to solve them both.
Winning plays. Here he is again, gliding to the hole in the face of a 7-footer.
Man, that was beautiful. It looked like he came down a little bit on his ankle there.
Credit to Arizona State. They race down the floor, get the ball to the hot hand. The job can't finish in under a minute. Time's running out on Arizona State. And you hear some of the applause. A lot of these West Virginia fans made the trip. They go to Arizona on Saturday. A 2-step. Huff. Dagger.
He clapped his hand, kind of yelled something like, okay, that's my game. A little late, but he didn't care personally, just for the team, obviously. But that's what we were used to seeing from Honor Huff.
And really, though, if you are Ross Hodge and you have Honor Huff score 6 points and have a tough shooting night, and you can claw out a road win in the Big 12, that's a good night. It's
a huge night for them, and it gives them confidence going into Arizona, thinking, hey, if we can get Huff going, we have the rest of our guys going, we got a great shot.
Odom, heart still beating.
They would almost need to foul every time and get a bunch of misses here. Not going to foul.
I appreciate the math degree that you shared with us. Shot clock at 9, about a second differential.
Well, wins in the Big 12 are hard to come by. Road wins are special. They mean something. There's a feeling. I've never been in an NFL locker room after a win. I've heard friends that have been in those and what it's like. And it's an insane feeling, I know, because it's a week of prep, but road wins in college in the Big 12 are big.
And a big win for West Virginia. They've won 15 straight at home, dating back to last year. They officially have won 1 straight on the road after tonight. A huge win for the Mountaineers, 75-63. Final thoughts, Matt?
Hey, great road win. Arizona State's got to pick it up Saturday with Cincinnati.
For Matt Muehlbach and our entire Peacock crew, final score, West Virginia 75, Arizona State 63. Let's send it back to the studio. Ahmed Fareed and Jordan Cornette.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Matt. Well done, as always, and welcome to College Cool Down, presented by Discover. I am Ahmed Fareed. He is Jordan Cornette. Well, I feel like we're heaping more praise on Arizona State at the halftime break than West Virginia, but West Virginia goes out, scores 40 points in the second half, outscores Arizona State by 14. What was the key to their success, you think?
I mean, Trace and Eaglestaff, what a performance from him, putting it together not just for 20 minutes, an entire 40 minutes here. Why this was so critical, because Honor Huff just did not have it offensively, the production they're accustomed to getting from him. With that being said, the sharpshooter said, hey, I'm a 9-point per game guy. I need to elevate, and especially on the road, you need those type of performances. You got one from him. I thought defensively, the sense of urgency in which this group played with, getting back in transition, make guys meet a chest on dribble drives, contesting on threes, rebounding and getting it going the other way. West Virginia elevated at the half and took over control of this game and said, hey, Arizona State, the game that was played the first 20 minutes, it's going to be wildly different in the second.
56% Arizona State shot from the floor in the first half, 38% in the second half. So, yeah, ratcheting up that defensive intensity and then winning on the road. Yeah, I know Arizona State 1-4 in the Big 12 right now, but you win on the road in this conference. That's huge.
You also exercise some demons. Yeah. This is a West Virginia team that has struggled on the road for whatever reason. It'll be interesting to see what Trayson attributes that to, but certainly that didn't matter. That was rear view. The performance from these guys, led by Trayson Eaglestaff, was very impressive.
Speaking of, we welcome into the program Trayson, 23 points in this game, had 14 in the first half. Trayson, what was the rallying cry at half? Because you guys just took off in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really nothing that crazy we had to do. We know we had to come in. We kind of just let them get in their groove, and we knew if we just played with them fast-paced, we were going to come out with the win, so we had to enforce our power on them and our physicality. So that was kind of the thing at halftime was we weren't doing that the first half, and that's why they got such a big lead. And then I hit some good, tough shots, and then at the end of the second half, Jasper Floyd hit some tough shots, and then won the game.
Well, we started with the we. I'm glad we got back to the I. Obviously, it's a team game, but Trayson, you were on fire, brother. You put it together the first 20, went to half, stayed hot coming into that second half. What were you seeing that the defense was providing for you to have that type of productive evening?
Yeah, I just didn't really feel a presence when I had the ball. Usually, depending who we play, we use some guys usually up in my jersey or something like that. So I didn't really feel anything too tight today. So first one, I remember hitting my first shot. No one had a paint touch, and usually coaches don't like that type of shot. And I hit it, and I was like, okay, like I'm pulling everything else today. So that was kind of my mentality going through the game. And then I just kept getting open, and then my teammates kept feeding me balls, and shout out to them.
T, let's talk about this conference because it is a bear of a conference. There's no easy games. I would even say this one going on the road is Arizona State. It's a road-winning conference. These are to be celebrated. But as you look forward in this thing, obviously it's one day at a time. But you guys putting it together on the road, exercising that demon, getting a win on the road, trajectory-wise, what does this do for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to take every day at a time. We don't really look too much on the forward. I think we have Arizona next. That's a big game. They're undefeated yet, and we play them at their house. And usually when we play those higher-seeded teams, we don't play very well. So, I mean, we just got to watch film on this, the good and the bad, mostly the bad so we can learn, and then try to get a good one on Saturday, I think it is.
Trayson, congratulations. Last year at North Dakota, you had a couple 40-point games. You had a 51-point game. So 23 in this one. Halfway there. You gotta keep, what happened? But next time, next game.
I felt it too. Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. We'll get a few more next time. Trayson, congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
He goes, yeah, you know what? I did miss a few shots.
He's
Maybe
like,
I could have hit 30.
How many points did you score tonight?
That's what zero. Zero. I watched a lot, though. You know, first half, I said we were heaping the praise on the Sun Devils. That's because Jop was doing things like that.
Yeah, Jop, I did feel like this game got away from him in terms of the pace. It wasn't allowing him in the half court to have the impact offensively he's accustomed to. He's our biggest weapon. And so when you take that out of the game plan, it becomes an uphill climb for a team that doesn't have a ton of firepower for their group.
Yeah, so West Virginia really got it going. Arizona State didn't have any answers. You got Floyd for three. They ended up shooting 46% from beyond the arc in the game, West Virginia.
It's the threes they took. The shots that they were in pursuit of in this game. Good screens to get Eaglestaff, who is clearly feeling warm, the touches. High IQ teams understand who the hot hand is and continually go to him. And then when you got to respect him from the three-point line, he then gets you on the bounce, plays off of two, composure, a cerebralness to get it through contact. Young man had it going on tonight for 40.
Yeah, 6 of 9 from 3 for Eaglestaff, 8 of 14 overall from the floor. Yeah, he did feel it. Also had 7 rebounds and a couple of assists in the game, too. So filled up the box score. For now a 13-6 team. We welcome in the two that called the game here, Matt Muehlbach, checking out the box score there. That's all right. You can still take a look at it, Matt. Pete Souza. Hey, by the way, we heard the compliments you were heaping on us in the first half. Second. We will never forget that, guys. Thank you so much for that. Well done on the call today.
Thank
you.
It's legit.
The takes that they would have, and we were like going live right after them, like, and then we're, hey, this is a take. This is practice now. And we're like, okay. Well, you guys are that good.
You guys did well.
No, let's keep doing
this. So Matt's take after we talked to Coach Hodge today was really that the way he assembled this roster, it's guys that produced where they were previously. It's guys that won where they were previously and guys that played, guys that were available. We talked about Floyd, 90 games or 92 games in college. You started 90 of them. That's something that we saw come through tonight.
Yeah, this looked like a team. They were all seniors, right? They were very old team. They had a lot of experience, but they played like they've played together for 3-4 years. Not that they were all new, 100% new team. That's what surprised me. And then the second thing I would say is you need a dude on the road. Eagle staff was the dude, but you also need role players. They had a lot of guys. Lorient was terrific. Jasper was great too. They have 7-8 guys. I think they've had this year 7 guys lead them in scoring. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and I think as we look right now at some of the damage they did offensively and defensively, this is a West Virginia basketball program that was basically left at the altar last year, right? I mean, you couldn't have had any harder luck than this program had. So here comes Ross Hodge, and all of a sudden, it's a team that there's something happening here. We can agree on that, and I'm sure you guys can too. 4-2 in conference, a coach that has won everywhere he's gone, and a team that is really looking to follow his lead, and already is. I mean, this is a special situation, I think.
Yeah, and they have an identity, right? They have a defensive identity. Their offense works through a lot of these good athletes and skill guys they have. And I'll tell you what, they don't have a bad loss all season. That is amazing to me. And they didn't really have a signature win. They get the Kansas win. I think they beat Cincinnati. Now they've got a couple good wins under their belt with no bad losses. This is a hard team to deal with.
I got one more thing, and I didn't want to bring it up during the broadcast because so many Arizona State folks were watching. This Arizona Wildcat registered a triple-double in this building in the Pac-10 tournament in, what, 1980?
Yeah, 1990. Gotta go back a ways.
How about that? He actually had a triple-double in this arena before any Arizona State guy ever did.
You know, it was because, I don't know if you guys remember Baby Jordan. I went boxing one.
Harold Miner.
On Harold Miner. Good memory, Baby Jordan. And because of that, I was always trying to get rebounds because he was, hitting the glass. So I was guarding him like, hey, I got a bunch of rebounds tonight. I might be able to do something here.
Baby Jordan and Magic Matt. All right, back to you guys.
Yeah, Magic Matt.
It works.
We could have found the video. I wish we would have known about the next time.
I think we'll be flaunting Matt differently from here on forward. Magic
Absolutely.
Matt.
Magic Matt. Thank you, guys. Well done. Well done. Enjoy.